Elwa Designs on Facebook, X, and SimWrap Marketplace.com. Thanks so much for being today's title
man, we're going
sponsor.
green next time. Bye.
As practice is over, qualifying is done. Staying for the warm-up, all that's left is for us to get ready for tonight's featured race, 140 laps here at the 08 configuration of Atlanta. Drivers are getting on the grid, so let's take a look at our Lucky Duck Motorsports qualifying grid here tonight. Taking the pole spot, top of the board, and he is right back to where he feels the most comfortable. It's the
140 laps.
John Forbes Jr. He's going to be feeling very comfortable up there with Vincent Sora.
4 tires over the wall.
Second, Dick Nichols with that very close time to Vincent Sora, both missing out on the pole. 73 will start in third. Larry Yingling, he's been one of the drivers. If you look at the stats here of the 08 configuration,
it'll be a 2-stopper if it goes green.
He's usually near the pole, and he's usually around leading the most laps. Can Victory Lane call the 67's named here tonight? Let's find out. As in fifth, it's Joshua Kanata. Ryan Kelly, our winner from last week, starting sixth. Seventh is the 99 of Ethan Smith with Ross Tatum in eighth. Ninth is going to be the 32 of Zach Hall, last week's pole sitter. And we find the magic here tonight. We'll find out with Gavin Rogers finishing out our top 10. In 11th, it's the 8 of Brian McCann with Chris Sitt starting in 12th. Cedric Hunter going to be starting in 13th for the 13. And we got to say, Richard picked Cedric Hunter. The numbers might have lined up for you as that driver to watch out for. Alan Elwood qualifying in 14th for the 5. Shane Terrian qualifying in 15th for the 9. Then we find Curtis Preston in 29th, starting in 16th. Jared Talmadge, my driver to watch out for here this evening. A little bit of a deeper start than I was expecting to see, but we'll see how that 27th can march his way forward as he starts in 17th. 18th is the 2 of Danny Cochran. He's hoping to keep all 4 tires settled on the ground all throughout tonight. He'll start 18th. Ali Fonseca in 19th. Chuck Sweeting, who had a very early exit after last week's race after he made contact with Danny Cochran. He'll start in 20th. We'll see how well they mesh around one another. With Thomas Green in 21st. Douglas Newbigin in the 7th position. 23rd is Matt Meir with Brian P. Johnson in 24th. Samuel S. Garcia in 25th with Ben Kinney in 26th. Going to be seeing John Van Allaire going to be in 27th position for the 10 with G.P. Rezari in 28th. Ryan Noel in 29th. 30th going to be the 94 of Travis Everett and Vinny Ware. Finishing out on 31 drivers here tonight. 31 drivers. We want to say again.
All right, let's have a good one.
Duck Motorsport, few tags on board. They bring in so many different drivers throughout the leagues that they race in, as well as they try to promote all the amazing charities that they're a part of. Go check out all the charities that you can if you want to pitch in and help with at tiltify.com. One of the major places that Lucky Ducks loves to promote. You can also hear about all the charities that Lucky Ducks is a part of on their social media on X at Lucky Ducks and on Instagram, Lucky Duck Motorsport.
Get ready.
For the drivers up front, get ready for action. We've got 140 laps of racing here this
I'm presuming there's got to be some wheel spin.
08 configuration. There's no fast repairs. There's no stage break, but there's 4 extra sets of tires in pit road. When do you want to use them? We'll find out. Pace car into pit road. Drivers into the restart zone. And let race number 2 of the season begin as we watch the drivers up front. Going to be seeing Concord Sora with the roar down into turn number 1. Already looking settled up front. 2x2 on the way through. A little bit of 3.
Outside was loose.
Definitely a little.
Turn number 2.
You're clear high. Clear high.
Down into turn number 3. Vincent Sora looking good with the lead position, battling side by side. Very colorful 73 of Jake Nichols, the 7. On the outer groove, John Forbes. Outside lane is where a lot of speed is going to be held. Question throughout practice was how often are you willing to stay on the outside? Vincent Sora going to be trying to stay up to that wall, but John Forbes going to force him to issue for him to stay up there. Not only happening back around the 6th, 7th, and 8th position, but we hop on board in the sense of what these leaders are feeling. Currently, this race is all about track position early on. Find your spacing. The front of the factor you have to watch out for is looseness. turn hard and aggressive on your tires, you're gonna feel like you have to seesaw on the wheel all throughout the run after the first 10 laps. After 15 laps, or even if you're protecting your tires, it feels slightly out of control, and it's going to be a fight all night long to make sure that your tires are pointing straight, or at least the vehicle is moving in the right direction. Here's the 5 machine of Alan Elwood, already going to be a fine position from where he started. Danny Cochran, the biggest mover so far, already up 12 spots from where he started in just 4 laps. But 2, not waiting for anyone except for himself. He is just ripping his way through the middle of the pack and just saw an opportunity to move forward, and he is not waiting for anyone else to tell him to stop moving, going forward, as Danny Cochran right to the inside and bustling his way past the one of Gavin Rogers. All drivers trying to get in line as quickly as they can, and you can already see our top 6 doing so. Now around 8th place, but here's all the action just outside of our top 20, and it is just a gaggle of cars, high, low, anywhere you can find space. They're just fanning out. This is what we're expecting to see, especially in around that 15 to 20 lap window when we're green flag racing. Is drivers just searching for an opening. Some would say you've got an advantage with this style of racing. Others would say you've got a disadvantage. Or one controller driver on track, he has to visually see when the car gets loose. Other drivers, they have force feedback in their wheel. It's kind of a force that pushes on your wheel when you're turning. And when it breaks loose and you don't have any of that force pushing, then your steering wheel tells you when you're loose. With the controller, that's all visual. How to make those positions.
Holy crap.
And movements.
Real loose there.
So look back to with the 17 of Chris States running in 10th place. Here's as well Zach Hall trying to find their footing. Bracken stay inside in the top 10. It's scoring his first time, but Hall working that outside run, trying to just build the momentum up. And this is going to be a fun thing to watch throughout this evening. There's a lot of drivers who really are running the top. Some might fight that feeling of, I should run down low, which has been the traditional way you want to run. A lot of these current vehicles run, stay low, protect your tires, just continue to stay methodical. With the Gen 4 vehicles, you can run on the outside. You might lose a little bit of traction, but these vehicles are so usable to what we call seesaw on the wheel. Run the wheel back and forth, maximizing your grip, and it can keep you running great. But in the background, drivers are wrecking. Caution is out. And it's going to be Jan van Leer. That's going to be the driver. Spun around. Major damage for the 10 machine as he's back in 29th position. There's a lot of jostling outside of our top 20 where that major pack of drivers was. And caution is out.
I'm just sorry for getting
as
in
the 10 machine as well as the 16 were the main 2 culprits
and
that
then
went for a ride off the exit turn number 2.
Turn 1, so.
And the first caution of the day.
I'm not sure which lane is better
I'm not
longer.
sure. I don't know. I think
See
it was a
Joshua
car up high
Canada.
that got into me.
He's slowly getting moving forward.
I'm not sure. I
10
felt like I got
machine,
turned
but it
down
looks
from
like
the top.
for
I guess only 9 laps.
a
Right?
lot of contact.
Yeah,
There was
we
actually
were, at least I was
4
4
incidences
tenths,
that kind of blossomed
half second
out.
off.
There's gonna
But
be Joshua Canada
just making them more cautious.
on between himself, Thomas.
if it stays green from here, you got it made if you do pits.
Going down into turn number 1. 16 going to get pushed up slightly to the outside.
It's a hell of a bet.
Find that speed, but gets
Yep.
over the limit, rushes the wall, more contact being made, and as he stays in the wall,
Fake
it's
him
going to be
like a
seen
pit.
on in the 10. He gets clipped, tossed around, and right in front of the 16 machine. Jan with no front bumper. You hate to see that for the 10 Tide. As here's how his run went awry, and it started before this. As he's going to get contact entering the corner from the inside of Matt Muir. We're not going to see it here in this camera view, but actually we do. Matt Muir just driving up and making contact with the 10. And he's already feeling discomfort from that just one contact, then trying to move away. And slight contact and bumps from the 00 of Noel. And there goes the 10 machine and the 16. Our first caution of the day coming out in our first 10 laps. As a couple of drivers going into pit road, going to get some damage repair, check on their tires, maybe top off on fuel. Looks like it's going to be a fuel pit stop run for Chuck Sweeting, a little bit of damage repair for Joshua Canada. GT Rosari also just taking a look at what the damage is like. Also going to be fuel packed in for Travis Everett.
Anyone put there?
Though, for Brian P. Johnson, Curtis Preston,
Saw some people
and
way
Young
on
Van
the back.
Leer are both going to be getting their damage repair from their contacts. We'll see how long the 29 is going to be staying in pit road. As Brian P. Johnson, I'm going to have to take another look at his pit stop because he was in there for 14.5 seconds, which is usually the call for tires. And yes, it is. Tires will be put on the 28. So a little bit of a short run we got to see there.
Down there, boy.
For 9 laps before caution coming out. We'll see what fresh rubber works
man,
for
we're
the
going
28
green
machine.
next
He'll start all
time,
the way down
All
in
right, man.
29th
Line up on the
position.
outside
Will
road
it
now.
march to the front quickly, or will it
Bull
take a little
way
bit
to
of
the
Still
time?
in training mode. I'm looking for the trees.
So far, the two of Danny Cochran already up to 4th
Yeah, I
place.
didn't think
He
that
was
now.
cruising for the 2 machine. Qualified back in
going in my
18th
body.
position. He will now be in row number 2 on the outside. That black and red machine.
It's like I'm good in
Is
every other
looking
session
Ryan
today that I've
Johnson's
ran
the
so
only
far,
one that
and
took
only
4
in this
tires.
garbage couple.
and
Everyone else
I'm
just
lacking
took
like crazy
Thanks
now.
so
fuel or
much to everyone
2.
who's joining with us here this evening. Yes, you are only hearing
Hey,
my
your
voice
buffer
the
thing
entire
now.
as Robert Moyer
Thing
Jr.
now.
as well as Richard Wolsifer, both under the
Not a
weather.
good time, Ollie.
Robert Moyer Jr., we appreciate the fact that he is still running productions.
77, you might want to call for a
tonight
damage report. I don't know
We've
if
got
that's really
ourselves
up on my end. Your front bumper's
130
falling
laps
off.
still to go here tonight. Most laps have been led
I'm
by
gonna go
Vincent
for
Sora.
the-
John Forbes will poke his nose ahead for a quick moment. At the time of caution,
Yeah,
so
it's
on
gone
that
because
seven,
iRacing just decided like,
keep
oh yeah,
that
you're gonna
lead
lag in the middle of
position.
travel. Like,
or will we see
what's the
someone
foreign part
else
of it? Ready?
emerge
That's what I
here?
want.
And as they were protecting their tires,
Yeah, I saw
Field
a
get
front
set,
bumper going
get
across
ready.
back
We're about to go back to green flag racing.
Yeah,
77 to
front bumper
Douglas
on
Newbegin
back
out a
tires.
little bit of a
Here's some
tar
tire.
on the apron. As he stays
Green,
low,
green,
the
green.
rest of the field gets ready to enter the restart zone. Pace car into pit road. John Forbes, Vincent Sora.
You got one
Get
inside.
ready. They roar down into
Stay
turn
high.
number 1. Douglas Newbegin, the 77, will head to pit road, get
Stay
served
high.
up for himself. But it's going to be side-by-side racing up front as they take off and
Still
go
there.
for the 7 and the rest of the field.
Stay high.
Off the exit
On
turn
the low
number
side.
2, a
Clear
little bit of
low,
push to
clear
the
low.
outside wall for John Forbes. Danny Cochran trying to force the issue as Douglas Newbegin. It's going to be a starting part
Sorry, Cedric.
for the 77. He has left the server.
I'll go, bro.
You're in the top
Unsure what exactly the issue is. We'll continue to try to look and see what his reasoning was for backing out. As up front, top 5, top 6, all in line. But Vincent Sora continues the march on the outside wall with that Category 5 esports machine. John Forbes, his new branded number 7. Lucky Duck Motorsports team, part of the Team A group. John Forbes, it's so odd to see him in a different color. We've known him to be in the 11 or even in the 1 for most of his iRacing career, and seen him in the number 7, a very iconic number for Lucky Ducks. And it's just bizarre. I think it's going to take a little bit to get used to here on the WSSR side of things. So as we hop on board with the 2 of Danny Cochran, that's the number that we're used to seeing him in, and putting a lot of pressure on the outside as Danny Cochran get a sense of what it's like as he continues to run the outside right over that outside seam. That marches down to the middle seam, creates momentum, put his foot on the throttle,
Still there.
find a way to get by Jake Nichols in the 73. Let's
Stay
stay
high.
playing very patient. Finally able to clear into 3rd place is Danny Cochran, but he wants to stay on the outside and very close to the rear bumper of the 7 of John Forbes. And drivers have to be careful. There's been a trend of
All
kind
clear,
of
all
a phrase
clear.
that's been thrown around known as aero creeping. When you get onto the back bumper of the driver in front of you, closer you get through the corner, it actually can loosen up the rear end or just loosen yourself as Danny Cochran gets a little bit sideways there off the exit of the corner. But if you get too close to the driver in front of you, you can loosen up the rear end, make them lose a lot of rear end grip, and make them spin around. So drivers, got to be careful when you are getting super close to one another, not to just wreck yourself here tonight. Some of the drivers in trouble for themselves, one of those being the 98 of Ben Keeney. It looks like he might have got a concept lead and
You got one
sets in
outside.
that position. Here is
Stay low.
speaking about 2018, it's Brian P.
All
Johnson
clear, all
taking
clear.
a gamble after that last caution, deciding to take 4 tires and fuel. Hasn't moved up as aggressively as I think we were expecting him to, but he's trying to find a way to work on the outside to get by Ali Fonseca as well. Find a way to get by Matt Meir. everyone wants to run the outside. That's where a lot of speed's at, and it's kind of causing a little bit of a jam at this moment. A little bit of a traffic jam as drivers are not able to really maximize their speed fully for some. As Johnson gets by Ollie Fonseca, now will duck to the inside, get by others. But this is a
Thank you.
weariest space, and looking at it, I mean,
Seems like it's hard to pass.
the majority of the field already to the outside wall. I think this is kind of a shocker. We knew that's where the pace was, where everyone knew they were going to be the fastest, but see the majority of the field right in the middle or outside. It's just showing no one really cares about their tires as much as the big slide by the 31 of Thomas Green. Huge save for himself. We're watching the 13 Hello Kitty machine of Cedric Hunter. He's close on the outside wall. 31, got to be careful. As here we go, the fresh tires of Brian P. Johnson now erupting inside of our top 20. 215th position. Just the back and forth in the middle of this field. Everyone is searching for their comfort spot. As up front, I'll watch a little bit of this battle for the lead. Reason why, John Force, Vincent Sora, they're right back to side-by-side action. And if they continue like the side-by-side racing they've been doing, this could give a chance for the Alan Elwoods, the Brian McCanns, the drivers that are watching the duel happen ahead of them. Feel to emerge here in the next 5 to 10 laps to maybe close in on this gap. One driver, though, that no longer a part of the top 3, Danny Cochran, has fallen to 4th. I think the aggressive driving on those tires could be backfiring at this current moment for the two. Continue to watch and see what his movement looks like for these next few laps as John Forbes outside up the wall, able to take the lead over Vincent Sora, who will fall into second place. A little bit of contact going to be made to the outside wall. I believe it's the 8 machine of Brian McCann. He's going to lose a position with his duel with Alan Elwood for 5th place. So everyone's side by side, sliding back and forth. You're trying to find enough space on the track where you can slide and not just correct your vehicle right into the outside wall. That's a tight squeeze by the 8 machine in the 2. How to make sure that you give space for yourself to kind of pinch and slow the driver down, but also allow them to save their vehicle if they lose and go out to the outside wall or even slide in front of you. Watching the 8 of McCann. This gray Budweiser machine, the Bud machine trying to get by the 2.
Got one inside.
Just yet. Now also a driver in the 99.
Brian Johnson's up to 12 on the tires.
Now, I was curious on what type of a race we were going to find from Ethan. Known for running good at the smaller concrete courses, but here tonight, seeing an opportunity, seeing a moment into the 99 of Ethan Smith, dashing his way into 5th place. Brian McCann seeing what at the inside lane worked for a moment there. He'll try to follow the 99 contact. Ethan Smith goes around into the grass. We stay green for now, but he lets the 99 surface. Caution is out. And
he started losing him before I hit him.
Caution of the day. Aggressive moves thrown around, and the small tap.
I started to check up, but it was too late.
Ethan to the back. All the work to get up to 5th. Throw it away. We have to reset for ourselves here tonight. Ethan Smith was doing a fabulous
for sure hate I hit him, but
south for this 99 machine. He started all the way back in 7th.
How much brakes are you guys using? I'm like trail braking at most, and then I just start dropping like a rock that second
They're
run.
live. Went for the inside
Same
move
here.
by Danny Cochran.
And a terrible restart.
And just that huge wiggle.
First run, I felt pretty good. I was keeping up with Williams. Second run, nope.
Happy that the 2 saved his machine. Didn't
Yeah,
wiggle
I'm
down
not
in
using
front
that
of the
much.
line.
I'm just trying to sometimes not go full throttle.
Got a little bit fed up
Because I
with
feel like it's
waiting.
wheel spinning.
Throttles up.
Not making
makes
even the
sense.
broadcast.
Away the 99 goes, and for watching Ethan
sometimes
Smith,
down
we'll have to go back and watch it. I think he started to get loose.
Coming up.
let it drift up onto the racing surface.
That's
So
10% brake,
that
15%.
when the car stops,
Maybe it was me, I don't
safe
know.
spot, but also will bring out a caution where
About
right there,
24.
29 passes by of Curtis
We'll
Preston.
review it.
The yellow is thrown, and with us running 25 laps at the time of this caution coming out, this is a decision time for some drivers. If you're just joining us, the field here tonight running 140 laps. There's no.
He ain't gonna be happy when he catches back up to me,
there,
though.
but there is 4 extra sets of tires in pit road to work with. Do drivers want to take a set now or later? And for Brian P. Johnson, he took a gamble of taking a set of tires 15 laps ago.
Right here.
Curious for the 28. Does he take a set here or not? Everyone else that is pitting has yet to take a set of tires. Expecting everyone. 4 tires and fuel. Or will someone take a gamble of 2 tires for track position? Let's find out as everyone gets into their box.
46.
That's it. Go.
Want to hit your marks. Come to a complete stop. Get your service in. Go. As it looks like for the 16 of Joshua Kanata. Missed his box. Had to just drive through pit road.
Where's the timing
And
line?
leaving pit road, going to be side by side.
I'm
And
going
John
52 and you
Ford
drove
to
around
be
me.
the winner out of pit road just for driving straight.
What was your right front?
Works out for the 7.
Oh.
For the 15.
Who's got a parlay on the 7 car up there?
486.
Up there in the box. Dude, that's ridiculous.
At this current time, 3rd leaving pit road.
Do you expect anything different?
But I'm
Look
curious
at who it
for the 16 of Joshua Kanata. Is going to go
That
into
golden
pit
horseshoe,
road. That's
dude.
going to lose him all this track time. Or will he stay out
I love you, John.
on these older sets of tires? Also got a report looking back at some of the other drivers that have had their issues here tonight. Again, Douglas Newbigging, after that last restart here tonight, about 16 laps ago, just pulled into pit road and called it evening. Still waiting for his official reasoning before backing out. Still getting damage repair done. Curtis Preston,
man, we're
as
going
well
green
as the
next
10
time,
of
All
Jan,
right, man. Line
of
up on the
Jan
outside
Van
road now.
Blair, trying to get their damage repair for the 10 machine. That was
Dude,
involved
Pit, and I still have to stay behind you.
caution of the day. Into pit road once again, going to be the 57 of Chuck Sweeting, who's trying to top off on fuel just for a second time, and Joshua Kanata will move from the lead.
Oh,
all the way
Brian
out the end of
Johnson's
the
down
line.
a set. Where's
With his
everyone?
4 tires and fuel after missing his pit stop.
It's a long race. I only have 2 sets
That's
left.
the field.
Yeah, we're only 30 laps in.
Start and go. We want to say thank you to more incredible sponsors that are helping out here for season 12 of the WSSR Cup Series. Returning sponsors that have been here for the past.
I may or
couple of
may not
seasons.
have been the cause of the caution, so
GTR Simulator.
Larry, take it easy on me.
Over to GTR simulators.com. And
I'll blame
go
on
check
Stitz.
out all the amazing rigs they have from
The hell
stationary
would I
rigs to
Leak oil.
rigs. that you
Oh,
have in
yeah,
your
probably. He gave me the
house. Use
I upgraded horsepower.
It's a last second engine change.
check out for 10% off for $100 in more
ready.
purchases. Again, that's GTRsimulators.com. Don't miss out on your chance to upgrade your rig and race like the pros.
All right, man. 8
John
cars in.
Forbes,
All right,
Vincent
man.
Sora,
8 cars
top
in.
2. They've been the top
Green flag,
2.
green
Jake
flag.
Nichols as well as the top 3 really have not moved at all.
22,
Starting to see a little bit of rumblings of new drivers behind our top 3. We'll see how it changes up with 4 tires and fuel. Who saves? Who goes more aggressive? As green flag is out in the air, it's going to be seeing the top 4 side by side on top one another. John Forbes, big dash, trying to already be ahead of Vincent Sora, who's expecting the big run off the exit turn number 2. But it's Jake Nichols keeping it 3x3. Driver spinning behind. That's going to be Matt Muir, who brings out the caution, and Nichols takes advantage with his inside move, has the lead position.
Oh, that was a long run up there.
And Nichols
With me, Stitz.
could have the top spot.
Yeah, you wanna take, rights?
But Matt Muir,
I think left.
72
Left. Alright.
slide off the exit turn number 2 as drivers on fresh rubber. Not expecting the slide to have, or was it some help? As looks like I got a little bit of that aero grief we were talking about. Here we are on the replay.
I don't know how I avoided that.
72. As that Jack Daniels
Broadcast.
machine trying to get up to speed on this
To
restart.
everyone who did not destroy me, it just
Drivers
stepped
trying
out.
to, you know,
Where's the guy I
see
wrecked
if they
at?
can.
You're
Pit
welcome.
road is now open.
Here,
I don't see him.
gonna be just driving that middle groove, accelerates, and just away he goes. Able to keep it down on the inside, and all other drivers are able to avoid.
Oh, 23rd.
That is
Ethan
what brings
Smith.
out our 3rd caution of the day. 29 laps in. This was a slight worry.
Hopefully his car's all
entering
right.
into tonight. Now, if we look at the past here at Atlanta for the WSSR Cup Series, this actually is the 11th time that we've ran at Atlanta. Now, it's not the 11th time that we ran at this configuration. Like, we've had it
Pit
split
road is closed.
with 50-50 on us running the Super Speedway configuration to the 08 configuration. Both have their own differences when racing. And when we're running at this 08 configuration, it's known for bringing out more cautions than Super Speedway. But the last time we ran here last season, we did have 9 cautions. There was a worry with how loose this machine is on cold tires, as well as when it's too warm, that we could be snapping loose. See how that ebbs and flows here tonight. But we'll bring up our weather because we saw during practice it was up in the 100s. Then during qualifying, it dropped to 96. Then it all the way down to 92 by the end of qualifying, but currently air temperature 79 degrees Fahrenheit, track temperature 103. So this is very similar track temperatures to what the drivers were practicing with. Now the grip levels might be slightly different because there's a little bit extra grip placed on throughout practice, qualifying, and we've already ran 30 laps here tonight. Grip levels might be slightly different that we're having here tonight. So the drivers are still learning, but see on this restart, full tires just had their tires placed on. Quick
All right, man,
caution.
we're going green next time.
Who's gonna
Bye.
find
All right,
that
man.
little bit of
Line up on the
extraness
outside row now.
to move forward? Jake Nichols found that extraness as he found himself going 3 wide at the time of that caution coming out, as our 1 to go, presented by Elwood Designs, is about to go underway. Jake Nichols will be on the inside group. I want to say thank you to everyone that's joining with us. Just saw Lucky Duck Motorsports out there in chat saying let's go. Hey, if you're just joining us, again, we're doing a little bit of a solo cast with me talking. My name's Sam Dyer. Everyone else that we usually have up in the booth talking with us are all dealing with sicknesses, and I hope everyone at home is keeping themselves safe from getting sick. Nasty flus out there that have been affecting the throat, sinuses. We hope everyone is getting better out there as the flu season is upon us, with the fall season starting up and winter right around the corner. Field set side by side. We're watching the Atlanta 08 here for the WSSR Cup Series presented by Elwood Design. Season 12, race number 2. It's about to get back to green flag racing. Jake Nichols in the 73 will be your control vehicle on the inside. John Forbes on the outer groove. Vincent Sora, Danny Godfrey, Gavin Rogers, Alan Elwood, Zach Hall, Brian McCann, Garrett Tallmadge, and Ryan Kelly going to be your top 10. Green flag is back out in the air here in Atlanta, and it's Nichols. And he's going to be seeing that gradient orange to yellow with all the detail of purple just marching his way to the front. I'm curious if he's going to let this stand of just staying up front, or is he going to make a statement call for the 73 and just pull away? Nichols looks to be okay with just riding behind, keeping it close, kind of testing the waters of John Forbes and Vincent Sora. But based off this first lap, it is take off and go for the 73 machine. Another driver that's getting a little bit of take off and go. Watch out for the 5 of Dallin Elwood. He's already going to be up a few spots from where he qualified, but he's being challenged by Zach Hall. Also a couple of other drivers trying to find their footing in the middle of the pack as he's outside the top 20 of Shane Terrian. But the drivers around 10th place starting to find their go button. That's the Cedric Hunter in 13, up 2 spots. Behind him, it's going to be the 00 of Brian Noel, up 17 positions from where we started with qualifying back in 29th place. He's one of our biggest movers right now with a 35 of Danny Ware right behind him.
Still there.
They continue to go back and forth. 3 wide. Brian P. Johnson is working that outer groove. I thought we were going to see that 00 kind of force in the middle there for a moment. Not going to be the case. Noel now goes up to the outside groove. Will not go to that 3rd row just yet.
Got one inside.
Johnson
Clear low.
took a gamble of taking a set of tires back at lap 7 of this race. Then 9 laps ago, took his second set. So the 28 at a disadvantage compared to the rest of the field. He's got 2 sets of tires left for the rest of this race, and we still have over 100 laps to go here this evening. Jake Nichols still up front. John Forbes in second. Middle of the pack, a little bit of 3 wide for 16th position. That's all we're about there. Placement to get in line in the outside train. Everyone seems to just wander up. After 4 laps of green flag racing, everyone tries to get close to the outside wall. 1, it's the defensive line. 2, it's the fastest place to go around. It's a lot of through 1 and 2. Everyone's at that outside wall. unless you can't find an opening to get up there. The 3 and 4, it's a bit more of that middle groove. Drivers are trying
Got
to
one
stick
outside.
around. Let's say
Stay
that
low, there's a car on the high
non-sponsored
side.
yellow, red, and black machine trying to
Stay
find
low.
his place on the inside. Another unsponsored machine, Ryan Kelly, our winner from last week at Daytona.
All clear, all clear.
He's got Alan Elwood to his inside. 5 machine, Simrat Market, looking good. Trying to continue to move forward for the 5. Alan Elwood, though, was up for 5th. Now has fallen to 10th place. And now going to be about to be in the clutches of Noel and also Brian P.
Outside.
Johnson.
Stay low. there's
Five's
a
got
car
him
on the
careful.
high side.
That double zero looks
Stay
quick,
low.
mighty quick at this time. Wants to get inside of the top 10 as quickly as
Stay low.
possible.
There's a car on the high side.
They're going to
Clear
be the
high.
gates of
Clear high.
finding
Got one
real
inside.
big moment here.
Stay
Yes,
high.
yeah.
There's a car on the low
Oh,
side. The
Brian
lead
Kelly.
is on 30.922.
From the middle
Stay
three.
high.
It's been one of those races where you just have to find
Stay
your
high.
settling point. A lot of these cautions that we've had so far,
Clear
the
low,
drivers
clear
that
low.
are just kind of getting a little bit too close to
Got
the
one inside.
awareness.
All clear, all clear.
Balance of saving your tires or be aggressive. Seems like those that are being aggressive have been rewarded a lot more because of the timing of these cautions being almost every 8 to 9 laps.
Inside.
Brian Noel, Brian B. Johnson, the
You're up top,
Bryans,
three wide.
side by
Inside,
side, battling
two
for
wide
10th
there.
place.
Stay high. There's a car
Other
on the low
battles
side.
and drivers that have made some
Stay
big
high. There's
moves.
a car on the low side.
Looking at outside of Danny Ware, 35
there.
machine. I am honestly shocked at how well he's moved forward. Started all the way back in
Still
last
there.
place.
Hold your line.
Wasn't able to set a time.
All clear, all
And up
clear.
17 positions. He has Thomas Green
I
on.
think I gotta quit doing that.
And
Stay
Danny
high.
Ware trying to make his, kind of
Stay
just
high.
trying to
There's a car on the
find
low
his
side.
placement in the lead because we really weren't sure where a lot of
Stay
these
high.
new
Clear low,
drivers,
clear
some of these
low.
rookies, where they would be placed. Are they going to be big threats like a Jake Nichols? Are they going to be just in the middle of this field in the madness that usually the middle and our 10th back to 25th is? We also, instead of just rookies, we got returning drivers. Chuck Sweeting, the 57. One of those drivers returning in the early days in the first 2-3 seasons of the WSSR Cup Series. Chuck Sweeting, known for having great fuel run strategy.
Car's wider than the Cup car.
Lane, with half times of being one of the fastest drivers out on track.
Yeah,
Here
once
this
it's
season, with the emergence of so
that's
many
fine.
drivers growing and becoming so much faster, I'm sure Chuck is going to be that fast and quick. Looks like here tonight, Chuck's going with more of a strategy call.
way back here, binoculars didn't look like too big.
He settles back in 29th place. All the way back in 30th, last place running. It's Curtis Preston's been dealing with a little bit of damage. He's been
Stay high.
collected in most of these wrecks.
Clear low,
He's
clear
gotten to
low.
the outside wall a couple of times. The speed's not there as he's about 0.3 off of Jake Nichols, our fastest driver out on track currently. And just watching everyone battling ahead of him. Want to move up to the battle for 20th position. Ross Tatum, GT
Got
Irizarry
one outside.
are starting to go back and forth.
Still there.
One from first position.
All clear, all clear.
So we have the 16 of Joshua Kanata in Subway 16, great full throwback. I think that's the fun thing about whenever you've got these Gen 4 throwback cars is drivers willing to bring out the throwback scheme. Saw those sparks of these Gen 4s just scraping the ground, heading into the corners. With a lot of alley. Got also Smith in the 99. He's got our second popular hitting. He's currently only up to 17th place. It's going to be a long road for Ethan Smith as he was 5th at the time of being spun. So a lot of time to go. Here's a race report. If you're just joining us, 45 laps in. 3 cautions so far. We've had ourselves just 3 changes for the lead. How many more will we see throughout the night? We'll find out as they're going to be seeing drivers in 10th place move up there. Reason why? Alan Elwood trying his best to fight forward. Excuse me, that was actually for 13th place. where the battling was happening. The 5 machine, he's fallen outside of the top 10 and about to fall close to 15th position if he's not careful. I am shocked to see this by the 5 machine. I thought he was going to be a top 10 contender, but it just looks like the tire wear factor of this race, 20 laps in, and he is still either in save mode or just feeling too uncomfortable to keep up with the pace of those that are inside of our top 10. That's Ellen Elwood, Thomas Green side by side. As Cedric Hunter behind them as well with Danny Ware. And then Brian Noel, he has fallen back outside of that battle for 10th place on top of it. As looking at the rest of the field, it is still Jake Nichols up front. Since the restart, I've been seeing the fact of, I'm curious on the 73, is this going to be just a waiting game for himself? And it looks like the waiting game is done. That's the last restart. When he got the lead, he didn't look back.
Still there.
And he continues to push forward. Well, 48 laps in. We still have plenty of racing action to show you moving forward. As we're going to take our first commercial break of the night, we want to say thank you for joining with us here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. You're watching the WSSR Cup Series presented by Elwood Designs. Season 12, race number 2. It's all been Nichols since our last restart just about 20 laps ago. Who's going to catch him? We'll find out as he continues to roar on. Been quick for himself as we Palto and the rest of the field. Are they going to find the speed, or will they have to wait for strategy? When will pit stops happen? We'll find out as we go side by side, so you don't miss a thing. We'll be back right after this.
The lead is at 31.483.
That leader has checked out.
Larry, I wasn't trying to block you there. The car just went down there. Here, I'll do.
Got one inside. Clear low, clear low. Good job, man. You're back in it.
I think it's tight behind another car. Oh my goodness.
Outside. Still there? Hold your line. All clear, all clear.
Need to get a run on him and run the bottom lane.
Got one outside. Still there. Still there. The lead is did on 31.772. You're clear high, clear high. You got one outside. You're clear high, clear high. Stay low, there's a car on the high side. Stay low, there's a car on the high side.
I'm sorry, Kevin.
Stay low.
All good, man. I just stuck right now.
Stay low, there's a car on the
This is
high
the battle
side.
who's got the least amount of grip.
You're clear high, clear high.
Oh, thank God. That was getting tough. Losing so much time on these guys, too.
You're fourth.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are now part of the racing action of do you stay out or do you pit? Two drivers have gone into pit road, being Brian Noel and Ben Keeney, trying to see if they need tires. And oh boy, we might get a caution that can help them out. Jared Talmadge, big spin around for the 27 machine as we stay green. No caution is out as he gets back onto the racing surface. And I was just about to make the statement that these drivers went from racing on asphalt to then on ice under
Hell yeah, it was ice.
because everyone has been losing grip.
That 2 wide was
In a
tough.
blink of an eye, we go from pit stops to caution as Brian Noel
Seemed to be pretty good on the long run compared to...
himself. But here's what got the 27th.
I don't think I got the top 2.
So it was all battling happening for 4th, 5th, and 6th position. Ryan McGann watching
were
in his
quick.
mirror as Danny Cochran, Talmadge, side by side off the exit turn number 2. You're seeing drivers going back and forth, but Danny Cochran, like I said earlier, a lot of these cautions, just misjudgments, and the 27 sliding up on the racing surface, and caution is out for the 4th time here this evening on lap 59. Drivers in a position, a lot have only used one set. Expected to use your second for most.
2, 1.
But will anyone stay out? Brian P. Johnson, he's going to be in the worst position because of the taking of tires on lap 7. 28. If he takes a set here, he's going to be left with just one set left for the rest of this race.
72,
That's it,
77.
go.
Everyone else expected to have 2 sets to work for so far. As Brian Noel will take the wave around here this evening. Everyone else, 4 tires and a fuel will take off and go.
Good, I want it 4th. Get that outside lane.
Race off pit road. Going to be one of
69, 76.
in the 7 machine. Vincent Sora, Jake Nichols, Ryan McCann, Zach Hall. It will move up into 5th place.
67, 74.
Danny Cochran, Brian Kelly, Thomas Green, and Danny Ware.
Appreciate the spots, Stitz.
Jared
Yeah, I
Talmadge
got an unsafe
falling all the way
pit
down to
exit somehow.
27. Take a bit of time for him to get back up front.
That's just
The rest
DOL.
of the field taking off and going has been the theme of the night. Been a lot of drivers going back and forth. Well, I'm curious on his thoughts on taking tires or not. Let's go talk to the 28 machine of Brian P. Johnson, running 12th currently. See how his race is going.
We're not even
so
halfway.
far. As we try to queue up the 28
All right, man, we're going
machine,
green next
Brian P.
time.
Johnson,
All right,
it's
man.
Sam up in the
Line
booth. You
on
got
the
me?
outside road now.
I sure do.
Well, Brian, you took a set of tires early in this race at lap 7. We saw you
So
take
it'll
another
be a
set
one
here.
stopper from
How
here.
are you feeling confidence-wise
Hey, Danny,
with the
I wanna
lack
say
of
this-
sets you have
this,
compared to the rest of the
paint
field so
loaded
far
in
here
looks really
tonight?
good, this color. Thank you, bud.
Not good. I'm down a set of tires,
Absolutely,
and
dude. I'm glad to-
my
glad to hear
speed
it's working
kind of
out.
sucks. So
Oh, Ethan only got it up
we'll
to
see what happens.
17th.
I don't expect it to be anything
Red
good.
better.
Right side
Much
tires
better.
Are
for
you
touching the
expecting
grass,
at some point,
entering
if there's a later caution,
pitch.
that you're going to have to just stay
Yeah,
out with
actually.
old sets, or are you just
Yeah.
going to use all that you got
I
every
heard
single
myself
time?
at the cone, but I thought I'd be
He's going to be
alright.
mad at me the next few races.
And I can figure something out with the tires. But yeah, I mean, at some point, I'm not going to have any more tires to put on, so I'll just stay out and do my best, not to wreck
good.
the field.
Well, good luck out there, Brian, and it looks like it's been a handful. Good luck.
Thank you.
as that will be the Category 5 esports driver of Brian P. Johnson. Like I said, he's only got one set left. That's what we've been calculating and looking on.
Hey, repeat.
And he will start 12th.
Going pretty good.
With only 80 laps.
I've only
to
repped one person.
We need at least a 40-lap run, and then maybe a caution.
How about you?
Come out for Brian, but this is going to be a tough end of the race for that 28 machine. Rest of the field, they still have 2 sets to work with. We'll see how they want to manage their tires.
Tire spin.
As pace car is off, restart zone is here. And John Forbes Jr. leading the charge on the inside.
Big tire spin.
To his outer groove. Jake Nichols in that 73 as well going to be following. But Brian McCann, big slide for the 8 machine on the outside. As everyone else roaring off the exit.
That little tire spin killed me.
It's the 7 and 73 drag racing their way down into turn number 3. Jake Nichols taking the opportune, able to just keep his foot on the throttle. Shorter distance, he keeps it side by side. Off the exit turn number 4. And a 73 going to lead that lap, and just showing there is a lot of strength with fresh tires on the inside. Outside will be the faster way to go, at least on in this run. This is when it can get nerve-wracking with some of the fast drivers being pushed to the back. How well and how efficient can they march their way forward? Some of those drivers to watch out for. The 00 of Brian Noel, as well as Jared Talmadge.
How did that happen? Or how did that work out?
Ryan McCann, Alan Elwood, a little bit of a squeeze with last season's champion.
Both of them on my quarter panel.
On the inside groove.
I was mirror driving the whole exit of that turn.
All around. As last week's winner, Brian Kelly going to push the middle, force it 3 wide with Alan Elwood on the outside, Rogers on the inside groove with the 3 in the middle, back and forth, all around. Another driver emerging out of nowhere. That was the 16 of Joshua Kanata. He's cracking top 15, currently marching his way through the middle groove. Drivers, I'm curious on the patience. I felt like the drivers that are being more aggressive have been rewarded much greater because of the timing of the cautions that have been coming out, but there's a chance of a long green flag run here. And the drivers are recognizing we're just one pit stop away from this race being over. Scott Rogers certainly trying to find a settling point as 16 Joshua Kanata now cracks into the top 10. Thomas Green also going to be right there, as well as Ross Tatum. At 21, haven't really talked a lot about Ross as changing over the Gen 4. I was curious on where is the mindset for the 21 coming into this season. We've seen in the past.
I think since the top 3 are so fast, I might just have to save a tire here.
Of this top 4 was when we were running the Gen.
Because last time I started running down, I just couldn't get separated too much because of traffic.
Where we really got to see Ross Tatum.
Passing the 2 in front of me is going to kill my tire right now.
He was inside of the top 10, who's challenging for wins here tonight. Currently just outside of the top 10, running with Thomas Green, second Hunter. Trying to get this Christmas-looking scheme up into the top 10 as quickly as possible.
I think I just have to save it and hope for a third.
Some fun. Let's see Ross running well here this evening. Looking throughout the rest of the field. Battle for the lead. It's still Jake Nichols in that top position. Vincent Sora in second. John Forbes in third. The 7 machine. Watching his
and get better on the restarts.
That last run, Jake Nichols really pulled out the gap quickly and held on to over a 7 tenths in the second lead over the rest of the competition. This go around, about 2 tenths, almost 3 tenths. Gonna be the gap as it's not as ballooned out as it once was on that initial takeoff and go. 2 restarts ago. I'm curious for Vincent Sora, John Forbes, how do you want to retaliate on a driver that looks so quick?
Ball came out of nowhere.
Redeeming his race back here, back in 16th position. Saw him go for a self-spin. About our 3rd caution of the day.
Could have hit in the wall too.
Hunter. So seeing Ollie Fonseca in that red, black, and yellow machine. The sponsorless machine. Trying to make that outside lane work as well as Ethan Smith. He's about to be into the 16th position. It's 99. I think he's one of those drivers. I'm excited watching him slowly, methodically taking those spots away. We finish up a nice lap 69. It is drivers getting ready for these final half of the race. First half is done. And with all the drivers on top of one another, picking and choosing, well, let's see if this thing still works. We'll see if we can find ourselves with a crank it up get a sense of what it's like with the field, these drivers on top of one another, and the roars of these Gen 4 machines at Atlanta. Enjoy a little bit of a crank it up moment.
All right, we're halfway to the finish.
And he's wrecking the whole front
Got one
stretch.
inside. Clear low, clear low. Got one outside. All clear, all clear. The leader just did a 31.386.
Does anyone know what 4 tires and like a half tank of fuel feels like in this car?
I don't know.
Like a lawnmower on wet grass.
Do we only need half a tank?
Showing me 13.6 I need. I'm slow as molasses.
And to crank it up, soft, major contact. The 5 of Allen Elwood got a little loose off the exit of turn number 4. Got the tap by the 8 machine of Brad.
I didn't tap him.
5 into the outside wall, losing from battling for 6 all the way down to 21st position, and about to be under fire here by the 00 of Brian Noel. Huge loss of time himself, as well as right before we went into that crank it up, we lost Ben Kinney in the 98. He has officially called it an evening, but you can see the tire wear.
Hey Kyle, how's it going?
All these drivers cease on their way and just drifting off the exit of turn number 4 and 2. Get a sense of what the 5 machine's been dealing with that has kind of accelerated this loss of time. A little bit of movement back and forth off the exit of turn 2, slightly counter steering off the exit of 2, but it's really here to 3 and 4. Keep yourself off that outside wall. You're trying to maximize your speed. You're putting every single lap these vehicles on their limit. Not as much as an aggressive moment there. Reason why you've got yourself a 14 trying to go through the grass to make the pass. That's GT Rizari has to back out of that one. You also have Travis Everett all outside of our top 25. This is a bizarre place to see the 5 machine.
Still in my right front.
Caution here quickly to resettle his way back into this race, but the handling's gone, the speed is gone. And GT Rizari running in 29th position, last driver on track, watching the 5 just disappear.
It's giving out in 3 and 4.
Just outside of the top 5.
Let me see if I can run that bottom line.
9th position as Irizarry on the outer groove makes the pass, and Allen Elwood looking to the end of the line. You've got a lot of work to get back up front, but there is still one pit stop left before the race is over. The question is, will the pit stop be
that bottom line feels pretty good.
or will it be under caution? A few drivers, I think, prefer this race to be under a caution, and some would like it to take green. Vincent Sora, John Forbes, they continue their duel back and forth. But new emergence for the top 3. It's the 32 of Zach Hall, able to get by Danny Cochran. And now for Hall, he's now found himself in a spot where he is fighting to go forward. This is great to see for himself at this time. Just getting into the top 5. What a run.
Don't jinx it.
Here for the 32. Looking at some of the other drivers that are making some big marches forward, I think we really documented pretty well on Danny Cochran, up 13 spots from where he started, also up 12 positions. Thomas Green, who's in 10th place, and Ryan P. Johnson started in 24th. He's up 12 position. A couple of drivers that have lost, I think, bigger positions than I think we expected. Back in 19th place, Larry Yingling. I'm shocked by this. He's lost 15 positions, and it just looks like not feeling as comfortable is this 67 as he's fighting back and forth, but it's just not there for himself. As the field continues to race on.
It's turning into ice. Them guys in front of me are struggling just like I am.
So just wait for when will we
That leader, though.
this next potential of pit stops or caution coming out. As Danny Cochran kind of want to ride on board with the 2 for a little bit, see what those hands are like for the Larry Productions 2 machine, because he's counter steering quite a bit off the exit of the corner, and I'm not surprised by that. Danny has been very aggressive these last couple of runs.
This dirty air sucks. Once I hit that,
oh, there
it's
you
like
do the
a wall.
trial bull, trying to counter steer to make sure that that steering wheel in his vehicle gets through the trial bull, even with all that looseness, just fighting back and forth, what we like to call a seesaw action, but just sawing at the wheel. And I'm hoping for a lot of these drivers that they didn't do an arm workout before this race, because they certainly are getting a workout right now, trying to keep these cars under control and maximizing their speed, trying to carry all the momentum. But it is very much a losing battle for some, as now we're going to go see the battling for second place. It's John Forge, Vincent Sora, Zach Hall. They are still on top of one another. Zach Hall looking to be pointing his way forward to try to go for this pass for third place. And I'm looking at Jake Nichols, and he is gone. 2.5 seconds practically away from the battling for second place, as Hall is almost there for third. Lost some traction off the exit of turn number 2 and 4. Felt to reset before he can try to attack to get by the Vincent Sora, but there's the difference between Hall and Danny Cochran, 4th and 5th position. Now 4/10 is off the exit of the corner. Hall had the better release,
Outside.
allowing him to just pull away from that 2 machine.
You're clear high, clear high.
85 laps in the books of 140 for race number 2 of season 12. Yeah, we've sent our thank yous to so many sponsors out there. Thanks so much to our title sponsor of Elwood Design, as well to Lucky Duck Motorsports being our grid sponsor. Also want to say thank you to GTR Simulators. If you're looking for trophies, though, with the fact of fantasy football in the middle of the season, maybe you're thinking about, hey, we don't have a trophy yet for fantasy football. Maybe you're into sim racing and you're wanting to get a capture of your winning moment to put on the wall. Well, we've got you plenty of different championship trophies, belts, rings, and metal plated images that you can have for yourself from Trophy Smack. Head on over to TrophySmack.com to celebrate your victories and show off your low moments, as Trophy Smack is one of your places to go. Remember to use the promo code WSSR.
I'm not sure if I'm fast or he let me by.
Get 10% off on your wall smack purchase from Trophy Smack. Your wall smack is a metal plate that you can put on your wall with their wall-safe magnet mounting system.
Assuming he let me by.
On your shelf or desk with their stand. Head on over again to Trophy Smack.
That just seemed too good to be true there.
WSSR Smack for 10% off on your wall smack. Thank you so much, Trophy Smack. Also want to say thank you to another trophy provider that also can get you one-of-a-kind pieces for your iRacing gear. Head on over to SimPrecisionPrints.shop. Sim Precision Prints has been the trophy provider the last season for the WSSR Cup Series, as Matt here to Tall Mitch, Cedric Hunter, side by side, wiggling all around. But Sim Precision Prints If you head on over to simprecisionprints.shop, use promo code WSSR at checkout for 10%.
10 more laps on this tank.
On any order of $50 or more. Sim Precision Prints, Precision Prints, performance delivered to get your 3D printed one-of-a-kind pieces or iRacing gear. Thanks so much to all the incredible sponsors that we have hopping on board for season 12, as Matt Meir, as well as many of others. We're 30 laps on this set of tires. And we've seen when we go into these long green flag runs, this is where we were at when we brought out our last caution, where Talmadge and Danny Cochran made contact. And as well, there were about 5 other cars that were just sliding around like they were on ice each time they exited the corner. Even through the center of the corner, the field is in a spot.
Ain't nobody got nothing for that leader.
You're going
Jeez.
backwards, but if you've saved, you've waited, this is your time to pounce. And for Larry Yingling, you hope that this is your time that you can finally accelerate and go forward, but Jan Van Blair is in trouble in the 10. He's wiggle wobbling his way through that front stretch. It seems the quad oval just as dangerous as the exit of the corners for these drivers. But can we stay green is going to be the question for these next 5 to 10 laps, because that is going to be the question of, do you pit in the next 10 laps, split this stint in half? It was around 30 laps into a run. We saw running a well, 17th, we're going to pit road, get their services done. We see that same strategy, push it as far as you can. I know for Brian P. Johnson, he's staying out there as long as he can to make sure that that last set of tires is as fresh as they can be. While the rest of the field, they still have 2 sets of tires to work with before this pit stop. They've got option. Hit early, hit later. I would say for the strategy call, hitting later is going to be better because of the unknown of if a caution blossoms. You're going to have the track position compared to those that pit and might go a lap down and have to take that wave around. Over the radio, though, it seems like a couple of drivers trying to communicate. Let's give some space. We're getting out of control. And into the wall goes Johnson. Just the lap prior, it was Stitz behind the 28 that got into the outside wall. If you're on the outside, that wall is calling for you. You better be careful. As each time we go around this course, it just gets slicker and slicker, and you're about to just use the wall as your guiding way to get around this track instead of using the tires to get around. As Yingling drops to the inside, trying to get into that next position up to 17th place. And for the 67, it looks like finally his tires are emerging to be quick. Stitz, it will get to the inside of Johnson, who is falling backwards quickly. Larry Yingling watching in his mirror. All the threats, all the challenges. I'm looking at some of the other drivers that are out on track up front. Not a lot of movement inside of our top 15. A lot of the passes happening.
Almost hit the wall.
On back. We hop on board with Chris Stitz, get a sense of what it's like for him out there on track. As we've got his steering wheel up, I'm curious if we can also pull up the weather as the drivers, again, 35 laps on this stint of tires. The track hasn't changed too dramatically. We're still in a pretty similar spot. Air temperature is now up to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Track temp still at 103. The wind's been staying pretty stable. The thing that has changed a lot is the amount of grip that's been placed on this track. 29 drivers have been out there for this whole 29 laps. Grip level can be making things a little bit slippier on the outside as this run progresses on. When do you make this green flag pit stop? Brian Noel to be the first one to pit this previous lap. Around that time that he pitted that we saw that late caution. Drivers getting into one another. Not as much communication over the radio. Drivers stating if they are going to make a pit stop just yet. We know in the next 3 to 4 laps, if not in the next about 10 laps, drivers are going to make this pit stop, this green flag run. It's going to get a little bit more tricky. I'm looking at some of the fastest laps that have been put down so far. Dave Nichols, his best lap, he's 30.4. Last lap for our leader, he's 32.1. So it's almost a 2-second difference. If you go with hitting earlier, you could get rewarded with taking those pit stops. And speaking about hitting early, Joshua Kanata heads into pit road. Here's the difference right now. This is wild. Looking out, Jake Nichols, 3.5 seconds over John Forbes, who's being heavily challenged by Vincent Sora and Zach Hall. But Nichols, the rookie, this was the worry over the offseason when Nichols said he was joining the WSSR. Was he just going to put a stomping on the field, or was someone going to stop him? Because John Force, Vincent Sora, they've been the top dogs these last few seasons. They're being dog walked right now. Coming up to 100 laps into this race and about to be entering our pit stops. As the field continues to race on, we will step away the final 40 laps. So close to seeing who will be there at the end. For us, though, we will take a commercial break. When we come back, three-flag pit stop will be underway. Who stays out the longest? Who's going to have the best tires for the end? We'll find out when we come back for the WSSR Cup Series presented by Elwood Design. You're watching Race 2 of Season 12 here at Atlanta 8. We'll be back side-by-side action so you don't miss a thing as we've got more Atlanta racing for you.
Hitting this time, hitting this time.
You're back and forth.
Let's see if I can hit this pits. Number 8 pitting. Pit and run.
10-4.
Hitting here, Ethan. Okay.
17 pitting.
That's how you do it.
Pit box in 10, 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here.
Not gonna lie, that was really close.
That's it, go. Be mindful, you only have one set of tires remaining.
Hitting here. Hitting, not hitting.
The leader just did a 32.303.
Traffic jam.
The car behind is pitting. Got one outside. You're clear high, clear high. The leader is pitting now. Outside. All clear, all clear. That was your fastest lap of the session. Got one outside. Car 7 has taken the lead. You're clear high, outside. You're clear high,
67 pitting.
Got one outside.
6-7!
Still there. All clear, all clear. Outside. All clear, all clear. right to the car behind. The gap is 1.
My bad, Ryan. We were like stuck together, dude.
No, it's alright, Alan.
Outside.
I'm hitting.
All clear, all clear.
I'm pitting this time.
Got one outside. All clear, all clear. Good job, man. You're in the top 10. The leader is sitting now. The leader just did on 32.487. Outside.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Freaky Fast Broadcasting on your Wednesday night. We give you the coverage of the WSSR Cup Series presented by Elwood Designs. We're at Atlanta 08 configuration for race 2 of season 12, currently underway with green-black pit stops.
The leader is sitting now.
As Jake Nichols leading the charge.
Get too close, am I making too loose?
Sora tried his best with the undercut.
I can't tell if I'm faster or he's faster.
Much as Nichols looks quick. He's currently third.
Hitting the time, hitting the time.
For Ethan Smith to finish out with his run. He's got Rogers just winning the pit road. As another driver that's got to make a pit stop is Alan Elwood. And we've almost completed our full green flag pit cycle. We're closing in on 25 laps to go here this evening. And if you are just joining us, well, here's our race report. It's been a little bit of a caution fest at the beginning. The long green flag run our first green flag pit stop cycle back at lap 40, but it didn't work out. That's when we got our most recent in green since then.
I didn't see any damage when I was
Most recent pit cycle, and it's been a different leaders so far here tonight with 13 lead changes. I know with the pit cycles that have been going on, that's kind of inflated those numbers. But since we've been green, it has been all Jake Nichols. The first 40 laps, you could say, was Vincent Sora versing John Forbes, but that's fallen away since then. Speaking about John Forbes, well, he went with the stretch goal of going later than everyone else. And the 7 has now fallen outside of the top 10, currently in 11th position, just because that's on the double zero.
I guess I'm faster.
This is a part of race where we're going to be seeing a lot of changes, ups and downs of drivers on new tires, passing those that are on older tires. Big swing is going to enable, I think, Jake Nichols here to lost him out this even more. Already up to 2 seconds the difference as Nichols has a 4-lap advantage over second and third place runners of Vincent Sora and Danny Cochran, and it's kind of expected to continue to get bigger and bigger because when they were on the same set of tires, Nichols was already up to almost a 4-second lead over second and third place, and this run with 25 laps to go is just going to get a little worse for the field. And one driver, though, that is banking on this race to stay clean and green,
before they kill me.
The front, Steve Johnson, didn't have the strongest pit stop for himself as he is the last driver 1 lap down. Reason why he wants this race to stay clean and green, well, he ran out of tire set. He has used them all, and now he's going to have to just take the rest of this race with what he has. As a couple of drivers deeper in the field having a close moment that almost brought out a yellow. Brian Noel, as well as Chuck Sweeting, went through the grass for a quick moment. They were able to get back in line, though, as the field has been trying to just finish out this race. It's been a good one to watch. Long one up in the booth, as it has been a solo cast for myself, Sam Dyer, as Richard Wolfsburg, as well as Robert Moyer Jr., both feeling ill. Robert Moyer Jr. well enough to press buttons, but his voice is shot. We appreciate him still putting on this production to allow us to stay live here tonight. watching the battling of GT Rosari, Joshua Kanata, Thomas Green, as Thomas Green and Kanata battling for the lead, battling for position on the lead lap. GT Rosari, on the other hand, currently 1 lap down, utilizing his fresher tires to blitz away. Jake Nichols' lead is almost up to 3 seconds, but looking at some other battles that are going on, GT Rosari up to 12th place now. At one moment, we were worried if he was even going to finish in the top 20. Now is on the march to try to finish inside of the top 10. This seems to be just a classic Larry Yingling swapping moment. We might be a little bit nervous in the first half.
Sorry, Josh.
But he
I'm
changes
like
all of our thoughts in the later groove.
Yeah, me too.
We also want to do another thank you of the incredible sponsors that have attacked on board this season of the WSSR for the WSSR Cup Series presented by Elwood Designs. First and foremost, thank you to Elwood Designs for being the title sponsor. We also want to say thank you to
It's so tight behind the car, it's crazy.
Motorsports. On top of that, I want to say thank you
I gotta run
to
one line lower
for being our white flag sponsor and returning sponsors of GTR Simulator and Trophy Smack.
All right, man. Caution
Never
is
mind.
out. Caution is out.
A lot of different battles
Your road is
are
closed.
happening throughout the field of drivers finding their space,
Heads
but
up,
caution is
car.
out.
I would
And it's the double zero, Brian Noel.
Heads up,
Trouble on the front
car.
stretch. And this race isn't over yet with 20 to go. Let the drama begin.
Well, yeah, you gotta go by me.
As Brian Noel
17 laps. I guess we got to take
get
4.
himself rolling. As we take a look at the replay,
The road is now open.
Ethan Smith gets on by on the outside.
Chaos begin.
Exactly what happened here to get
What do we think about
the
2?
out of trouble with a little bit of a lower
Well, I mean, I don't know.
expected.
I was only. Oh yeah,
Goes
I wouldn't
up
trust
over
it.
that scene.
Okay.
I ain't doing it.
68.
Closing right and
68
loose.
left
Over
rear.
It's right in front of the
That's a
field. Big
47
lock
run.
up as Samuel S. Garcia gets by. And that is what brings out a late caution here this evening. It's going to make it less than a 20-lap shootout for us here tonight. We were talking during the last commercial break. If we stay clean and green, it was only going to be about 17 minutes until this race was over. We'll add a little bit of extra time for this shootout.
I'm
And
so
how
sorry,
long
dude. That
will
was
we
just a
stay
stupid
clean and
move.
green?
I was trying
As
to
the
break
whole
it when
entire
it stopped.
field
I'm
expected
so
to
sorry,
hit pit
dude.
road, 4 tires in fuel. One driver that won't, Ryan P. Johnson. That
All right,
28
that's it. Go.
out of tires. What will he do here for this run? As we wait for everyone to
50 the
get
cars.
done
Make
with
them line
their
up the
pit
rest of the right.
stops.
Line up single
Moving
file.
pit road. Who took 4? Who took none?
Looks like a lot of 2s.
Out. Curtis Preston, Travis Everett, both will stay out as they were out there for 15 laps for
Top 2
Preston,
stayed out.
14 laps for Everett.
They're praying for a caution.
Ethan
18
Smith
laps.
was, excuse me, that's Alan Elwood. I was looking for the waiver round. Doesn't look like he will be given that due to Preston and Everett staying out. Well, this makes things a little bit more interesting for this
Be off of 4
restart.
now, I
Everyone took
believe.
4 tires and
I
fuel.
can't
Didn't
see
see
it.
anyone take 2 tires, but
I'm all good. I'm
still
rolling now.
some drivers and a spot.
thought I wouldn't
I'm
have enough
curious on
time.
their thoughts. Let's take a gander with 4th place runner Danny Cochran. That would have been 2nd. Instead, he'll be on the outside. Let's see what the 2
All right,
stops
man, we're going
are
green next
after
time by.
this.
All right,
The two
man,
that
line
stayed
up
out
on the
pitted.
inside row.
2 machine, Danny Cochran and
Never.
Sam up in the booth. You got us?
I got you.
Well, Danny, it's 1 to go. We're about to go green. You're starting in 2nd place for this shootout. What's the confidence feeling? How are you feeling for these final 18 laps?
I'm feeling good to take a shot at it. I mean, we're going to do all we can. If we can just bring it home with this respectable top 5, then I'm going to be happy with that. But, I mean, we got a shot at the win here, so I want to do everything in my power to bring it home P1.
Cannot spin the tires.
made some good
Cannot
headway
spin
through
the
field
tires.
early. Just took me some time to kind of get it dialed in how it was going to drive, but I've been getting better every single run, so we're going to do the best we can here.
And we're excited for you, Danny. Good luck on this restart, and we hope to talk to you at the end of the night.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate it.
As Danny Cochran, I mean, like you said, he has been building and getting faster and faster. I'm curious on how he will attack to try to stay ahead of Jake Nichols. Ever since Nichols decided to take the lead back at lap
Get
40,
ready.
he has not relinquished it. It's been tough for anyone to really show any pace that they could get by this 73, but we'll see if it's the 2. Is it the 8? Could it be the 32 as Vincent Sora falls all the way down to 5th place? John Forbes is back in 7th. The two drivers that once were challenging Nichols in those first 40 laps, well, they're nowhere to be found. New contenders are here. Do they have any threats? A lot of wheel spin on the outside for Danny Cochran as well for Zach Hall. All lost of time. And Jake Nichols is clear and gone. But Cochran fighting back on the inside as the rest of the field stacked up 2 by 2. Fourth on back as they exit out of third.
Still there. Still there. Clear low, clear low.
Jake Nichols solid at this moment. Vincent Sora now starting to roll on the inside. A couple of drivers. Black flags going to be given out for Curtis Preston and Travis Everett for pitting under a closed pit stop. That is going to be a drive-through penalty for both of them as they pull to pit road here in the next couple of laps. Zach Hall, he's now fallen to 7th. Just no confidence into that machine on the outside after the wheel spin to start that restart. Nichols is pulling away. Cochran, Sora, you got to figure out where you're going to be running right now, because this squabble could be hurting you in the long run. As Brian McCann in the 8 machine is hounding the back bumper of the 2. Behind that, John Forbes in the 7.
Oh no, he got the wall.
Shot to his lucky. That's Motorsports teammate of Jake Nichols, or is Nichols just too strong, too powerful to catch up to? Danny Cochran into the outside wall. Gonna be seeing Brian McCann back off from that moment. Big lots of time for the 2. And all of the thrills that he was expecting to have are to be thrown away for Sora. They might have started 5th and 7th, but they are now back to 2 and 3 where they've been for most of the night. Brad McCann with a chance to have it down low. They're going to be a stack 3 wide. Forbes on the outside, Danny Cochran on the middle, and then Brian McCann on the inside groove. McCann, Cochran, they'll stay side by side. Drag racing in turn number 3. Zach Hall close. 15 laps to go here this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Nichols looks to be the favorite. Looking at the last lap, it is still the 73, about a 10th faster than everyone else. Recalibrating that last lap, Vincent Sora was about 4/100ths of a second faster than Nichols. But even if he continued at that pace, he's still falling short of catching up to our leader by the time this race is over. Looking at some drivers that are inside of our top 10, battling for 10th place. Cedric Hunter, Ross Tatum, back and forth. Hunter in front of Tatum. Tatum keeping the foot in the throttle, almost contact made. And out of nowhere is Chuck Sweeting, who's been blooming back around 25th for most of the night. Where did the 57 come from? As now he's up into 10th place. Almost 3 wide for a quick moment. And it's the pink machines. Hello Kitty on the outside. The Rainbow 57 on the middle. Win on the inner groove. Yeah, Ross Tatum as well. Little Debbie's. Where does he want to slot himself into this mixture? And just seeing all these drivers wait for a race. They got the pit stops that were needed. They got the tires as well. No longer do you wait. You just push and be aggressive. 12 laps to go for Nichols. But will we stay clean and green? Looking at tires, everyone's used up what they've got. I don't believe anyone's got an extra set to work with besides Alan Elwood. I think he's the only one who's got a set left. We saw earlier in the race, it just wasn't as big of an advantage to allow you to really drive through the field. So even if there's a caution right now, I don't know if Elwood would be able to close in on our top runners.
Wreck.
We continue to watch this side-by-side battling for 10th position.
Oh man, we got to do all that again.
Trouble ahead! Smoke dashing, drivers to the inside, and it's Danny Cochran. Spun around, caution is out. And that is going to be with 11 laps to go, less than 10 laps. And I said, hey, if there's a caution here with 10 to go, I don't know if it's going to be enough for Alan Elwood. Well, Alan, here's your chance. Make me eat my words. Get into pit road, get some freshies. Let's see if the 5 machines got some magic here to reset all of his woes that he got in the first and at the halfway point. Cochran.
I would have preferred that just run out right there.
Hunter almost clipping him. Oh my goodness. Good job on the rest of the field to avoid him. That was Danny Cochran has called it a night. He has left the server, and that is it. And so here we go. We'll take another look at it. Danny Cochran is going to have Zach Hall as well as Thomas Green.
I
Round two. Ryan McCann right in front of him. Was this a self-sabotage or was there contact? And the two into the wall. It just squeezes back into Hall, who then makes contact into Thomas Green. It just turned into a pinball, was the two. Then pulls it into pit road and calls it a night. Another driver calling in.
I bet those two people wish they stayed out.
Is out of this race. They will all be joining Ethan Smith, Ben Keeney, as well as Douglas Newbigging, all calling it a night. And with the timing of this caution, expecting most of the field to stay out. The 5 is expected to hit pit road. Jarrett Talmadge as well. Seeing the replay, just how much of an innocent victim.
Somewhat.
30
I got my damage fixed, but
nowhere to go.
Start behind everyone.
Outside. There goes a vehicle right in front of you.
P20.
Another look at it for the 31 machine.
I think he lied to me. I don't think I got the extra 400 horsepower.
Hall. Maybe attempt to get by the 2. Just wasn't
well, I mean, at one point it did have extra 400.
Rides on the outside and contact.
They might still have
bang, bang,
dusty,
nowhere to
sludgy
go.
03 oil.
Otherwise, you're going to hit someone else. Had to stay high, collecting some of that front end damage and front right damage.
I'm so slow on restarts. I lose all my track position.
Attack this run. Well, as drivers are stacked side by side, we're just waiting for the one to go to be
good on the long run, though.
Let's see if we can talk to our leader, Jake Nichols. How is the 73 feeling? As he has been
if you slip with rear tire and you lose on that
complete control
restart.
for most of this evening. Let's see if we can queue up to 73. Jake, it's Sam up in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Well, ever since lap 40, you've been up front leading this race. What's the confidence like, and how are you feeling for this 7-lap shootout we're expecting to have?
Well, I think we got the grip under the tires still. I felt like I had really good pace, that if I just got to the lead that we would just have it and be able to kind of match our pace short run and have the long run pace to go. And it worked out. The first run I kind of got held up a little bit, but after that, like you guys have seen, this Lucky Ducks machine has been on rails, and it's going to be tough. We're all going to be driving the tires probably a little too hard, considering we ran a few laps there, but I got a teammate behind me. We're going to just try to do our thing and just keep running hard and hopefully bring it to victory lane.
How nervous are you on this restart on wheel spin, or are you feeling confident on this takeoff?
He ain't nervous.
Pretty confident.
See?
I'm used to wheel spin. I've had worse scenarios, honestly, so we should be able to get through here. The 15's been pretty good timing restarts from second, so hopefully I can get them a little bit here and confuse them.
Well, Jake, good luck. We're going to send you back to your team, but good luck on this restart. Hopefully talk to you at the end of the night.
Thank you.
As that will be Lucky Duck Motorsports driver 73 of Jake Nichols as he gets ready for what potentially could be the final restart of the evening. Two drivers to watch out for. Garrett Thomas back in 24th, Alan Elwood. How quick can they dash through the field in these final 7 laps? Or will we get a caution that sends us to overtime? Green flag is out of the air for Jake Nichols. John Ford trying to follow in suit. Lucky Duck Motorsports 1-3. Sora on the outside trying to make the outer groove work. He's going to look for a big run off the exit of turn number 2. But can the 15 hold back the 7? He will do so. And there's the run. The accelerating dash down into turn number 3. Sora to the inside. Going to get to the inside quarter panel of Jake Nichols. Deeper in the field, trouble for Danny Ware. He stays low. We stay green for now. But Nichols holds strong on off the exit of turn 4. Here we go. 6 more laps to go. Sora with a little bit of a bump into turn number 1, forcing Nichols high. And we'll be side by side. Nichols, Sora. Vincent Sora, I feel like he's been protecting his tires and wiggling back and forth. That big loose moment, but they're wrecking further back. Cedric Connor and multiple others sliding around. We continue to stay green. We're still green somehow. As 6 laps to go, about to be 5. As the drivers finally get straight. Well, there is no yellow flag somehow. And Nichols leads the way.
Don't hit the wall.
I don't know how there wasn't a caution there. Multiple drivers sliding sideways, but iRacing Dean, let's race on. And now emerging, John Forbes catching up to Vincent Sora. And I think for Sora, he used every last gasp he had left. That big slide off a 2 killed every run he possibly could have had But does John Forbes have the magic, or will the 15 continue to fight side by side? Ryan McCain also has just been settling where he's at. Last week's winner of Brian Kelly is back in 5th place, and Chuck Sweeting still baffling me that he's in 7th place with all the fuel saving. That 57 is still quick as he's being challenged by the 16 of Joshua Kanata. It seems like it's a battle everywhere on track, but for the lead, as it's a half a second of a difference between Nichols in that battle for second. Off the exit of turn 4, across the line. 3 laps to go for Jake Nichols. Sora did everything on that last restart. He practically was there drag racing with Nichols. The one slide off the exit of turn 2 and it all went away. John Forbes just having a big slide off the exit of turn 2. That might have also killed his run.
He's too good to battle, and I might get a second.
73. Stand up to cancer. Fight and find a way to stop it. You love to see the charities that every Lucky Duck driver runs on their machines in the 73, trying to get this Still-Defined Charity Scheme into victory lane as fast as he can. 2 laps to go, and it might be a Lucky Ducks 1-2 with John Forbes making the pass on Vincent Sora. Ryan McCann still in 4th. 5th is Ryan Kelly. And Jake Nichols.
One more to go.
I said it earlier in the broadcast. Off the exit of turn number 4, we look up to the flag stand for your Sim Precision Prince white flag for the 73. Just one more lap to go, but Jake Nichols over this offseason was probably the hottest rookie coming in. He was going to be the fastest. The question is, was there any one of our veterans or even any one of the rookies that could step up and stop this 73 when he decides it's the go button moment?
I'll take a 4th.
And tonight, he proved it. Nichols is a threat. He's the favorite. Who will stop him? We'll have to find out throughout the season, because race 2, Jake Nichols, you're a winner in the WSSR Cup Series presented by Elwood Designs. It didn't take long, and Nichols is in victory lane. John Forbes coming on over. He'll give some congratulational taps, saying from Vincent Sora. A couple of drivers got to be frustrated with the way that this race ended, with that late caution not coming out. Update on the drivers that took 4 tires.
I gotta go back and review that wreck.
I think maybe if you had another chance, could have ran down the group. He got up to 9th place for the 27. And for Alan Elwood, only able to get up to 9th position for himself. But for
I got hit. Off of 2, I was middle 3 wide.
Ratio. We're going to talk more top 3, get their thoughts on this evening's race. But for Jake Nichols,
say hello to Jesus
enjoy the burnout show as the 73 just took 2 races in victory lane, is calling his name. Enjoy this one. When we come back, we'll talk to Jake Nichols, John Forbes, Vincent Sora, and get you ready for next week's racing action.
89.
We'll be back right after this.
I guess I hit him. Hold on. There's what I remember. But was it because of me hitting him? He bobbled a little bit. I was right on him. Yeah, he slipped, and then I hit him. But that was me taking the arrow for that quarter panel. I noticed that if you get right on that quarter panel like that, it really upsets the car in front of you. I didn't know that till later on in the race. Yeah, he was steering right, and then I hit him. So basically, I was causing him to get stupid loose, and then I hit him. Oops. Hopefully he goes in easy on me next week.